know you got me.
Welcome back to Influencer Insider, the space where women go from dreaming to doing. I'm your host, Karina Mae, and today's guest is a radiant example of how life experiences can shape a brand with a true heart. Evelin Andrade is the heart and visionary behind Ir Al Sol Swimwear, a brand devoted to guiding women back to themselves, to the confidence, joy, and light they've always carried within. From her 23-year career as a registered nurse to becoming a valuable team member at the recent SIS Expo, Evelin has a gift for creating spaces where women feel seen, celebrated, and connected. Let's get into her story. Evelin, it is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Good. Let's break the ice, girl. What is your favorite beach getaway?
My favorite beach getaway is a comfortable little wrap, a two-top, and of course you have to have your canvas bag with a sunblock.
Of course, of course. And the weather's perfect always in Florida, right?
Yes, yes. Even when it's not, we could always make it shine.
Yes, ma'am. Well, if you could pack 3 things for a spontaneous trip, what would it be?
3 things for a spontaneous trip would be definitely my tennis shoes to get going, a swimsuit, and a nice little summer dress over.
Yes, ma'am. The weather's perfect right now, too. Summertime. Well, you've been a nurse for over 2 decades. What has inspired you to step into entrepreneurship?
So what inspired me was trying to bring the wellness factor outside of only healthcare. I learned early on to de-stress before the stress of facing a shift. So I always used the wellness of walking before I went into a shift, and also decompressed after. And then as journaling, I would always write and also doodle, and that's where I started doodling swimwear things, and I was always attracted to the sun, and that's where I decided, you know what, I do it for my patients, why not bring it outside the healthcare system?
Yes, ma'am. Well, how has your background in healthcare influenced the way you design and approach?
So my healthcare has influence in the fact that I always want the best for my patients. I've always advocated wellness, I've always advocated health. But aside from that, a lot of the times when I received patients or even their caregivers and families, I noticed how nervous and stressful they were. So that's what connected my willingness and able to spread the story about being able to take a time to breathe, to get some sunshine, even in your darkest moments, the sun. And that's why the sun is so important and significant in my brand, Ir Al Sol, because even though the sun always sets, it'll always rise and show that sunshine. So that's how I connected it. And we all know that vitamin D is good for ourselves. So we hear it all the time, get out and get some sunshine. It just helps with mood, stability, nervous system, and calmness. So that's how it all came together.
Yes, ma'am. Well, Ir Al Sol is deeply tied to your Colombian heritage and your personal journey of resilience. Can you share a story behind the name and vision?
So my parents, being Colombian immigrants in New York in the 70s, wanted us to really, even though I was born in New York, get infused with our own culture. So my dad at the time worked for, if anyone recalls, Pan Am. He used to be able to send us every summer to spend time with my grandmother, and that's where the sewing also came in. We would go to Colombia for the summer, spent every summer from 3rd grade through middle school with her, and she taught us how to sew. We would spend it in the beaches of Santa Marta, Cartagena, and it was just all resonating when I started the brand. Helped me connect how my own grandmother used to take us to calm my hyper energy to the sun and let us soak in those sun rays and have restful nights. So that's how it all came together.
I love that. Those nights with grandmom are like precious.
Yes, and those generational traits that you learn, how to sew, how to hem. It's something that always comes with every design, and I get to share with the world.
I love that. Well, you often talk about healing and self-connection through your designs. Where did that passion come from?
So early on in my nursing career, I became a mother of an 8-week-old, and I widowed shortly after. And I connected again. I used to drive down to the beach to breastfeed her, take naps with her. and it really helped me go through the grieving process. And that's where, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, sorry to stop you there also as well. Motherhood is like an amazing journey.
Okay.
So
Yes.
I love that part of your story. You often talk about healing and self-connection through your designs, and we just want to know where that passion comes from.
So the healing came from that journey early on. I widowed with my firstborn, and right away, nostalgia connected to taking her to the beach and really healing through the grieving process. That's where I started also my nursing career, and I started the research and the study of toward my master's at that time, toward what was a connection with vitamin D. At that time, we had our mini first epidemic, H1N1, and the first thing that was being prescribed with the antibiotic was vitamin D vitamins. As we've also learned with COVID just recently, a lot of it was vitamin D deficiency with whatever antibiotic or course of action. Same thing in studies with mental wellness, any mental health, they usually prescribe with vitamin D. And there became the where I started developing the brand in 2007 and wanted to connect going toward the sun, how essential it is. Even my daughter being born, she was born jaundice, and they wanted to do the blue light, but at that time the doctor said, or you could sit outside in the sun with her. So even at birth, we are, in order for the body to metabolize and start converting in the kidney, the blood factor, reverse the jaundice, sunlight is the first thing that they prescribe. So that's where vitamin D came connected and the healing, and it's all encompassing not only mind, but the body and hormone and stability.
Yes. Well, you were recently a part of the Wealthy SIS Team Expo this year.
Yes, I was.
What was the experience like? What did it teach you about community among women entrepreneurs?
The beauty of connection with women, how we all inspire and how resilient, and how we all have a deep story in not only nurturing and wanting to care for others, but also remembering not to suppress our own needs and to shine and to show our own glow. I remember one statement that stayed with me since with one of the speakers that said, always maximize every opportunity. And I think that's something that has stayed with me since the expo, and that's something that since the expo I know I carry with me and with my brand as well.
Yes, ma'am. Well, when you were first sketching your swimwear designs, did you know that it would grow into this big full brand?
So no, not technically. So when I was first sketching, it was for fun. Being in Miami, where I was practicing my nursing career, that's when individuals started asking about my swimwear. It did start, and like Ir Al Sol brand states, it's through every story, journey of your story. At that time, I was postpartum. It was my firstborn, so I had different needs for my body. So others took notice, and generally they would just ask me, and I would go ahead and make it for colleagues, nurses, or anyone that would ask, friends, family. It was then my husband, now that I met 2 years later, that stated you should make that a brand. Didn't think anything of it. Generationally, I wasn't taught about entrepreneurship. I was taught, you grow, you build a family, and you live your profession. And thankfully, through connections like the SIS Expo and Wealthy SIS, I started developing that, maybe entrepreneurship is something for me. Maybe it is something. And here we are today, 2 years later.
That's amazing. I love that story.
Thank you.
Well, where did some of your earliest challenges come? And you faced launching Ir Al Sol, and how did you overcome those challenges?
So the early challenges was I didn't find my community. I didn't know there was such thing as community or networking. Like I stated, generationally, entrepreneurship wasn't something that was experienced. I thought you needed to be a fashion designer. I thought you needed to be, I also felt conscious or not worthy. How can a nurse and now be a swimwear designer? I couldn't find my niche or what my true mission was with it. It was communities like the Wealthy SIS and the SIS Expo, and getting myself out there and talking and having that dialogue and doing the research that really helped me launch. But at the beginning it was always battling, is this the right thing right now for my family? Is this the correct route that I should do? Because it is an investment, and investment not financially, because that comes on its own, but investment in yourself and finding yourself, finding your worth, that it's gonna be hard. Not everybody's gonna like it. You're gonna learn as you go. You're gonna get feedback that you design something that you think everybody's gonna love, but it's not for everybody. So it's learning how to take those and using it constructively, positively, to launch you to that next level. And that's where vitamin D comes, calming that nervous system.
Yes.
You gotta keep going.
Yes, keep going. You are such an inspiration.
Thank you.
Well, how do you balance creativity, production, and the business side of running a brand?
So how do I balance, if you haven't noticed, I'm a mover. I'm a very hyper person. That's what had me on my grandma's lap, sewing at a young age. So it's being very organized and intentional with your time, knowing your non-negotiables, and moving the needle forward every day. This is something that if it really gnaws at you and it's really a calling or a passion, it's tiresome and stressful, but it's a rewarding tiresome and stressful. That's how I could explain it.
Yes.
It's nonstop, but it's so rewarding. Every time you see the needle move forward, and you see, even from my immigrant parents, how generationally you're changing that historical line and leaving your legacy for those watching. And for me, it's my daughter and my son.
Yeah, super important for the kids to see mommy doing their thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, your pieces are known for vibrant colors and intentional details. How do you translate a feeling or a message into a tangible design?
So it's like journaling. My doodles do come from where I am at the time. The last collection was the Carmen Miranda collection. If you check my site or follow me on Instagram, which I'll be providing later, it is a reversible yellow, the sun, and the rainforest patterns on the other end. So I try to make them functional to where people who feel comfortable, vibrant, or feel sassy and flirty at once, because you use those patterns, and at the same time on the other side has a solid color. So you could tell my designs are based on journaling, where I am historically, trying to bring inclusiveness and culture to life as well.
Yes. Well, thinking about launching a purpose-driven brand, what's your best advice for getting started?
It might not make sense at the beginning, but write it down. What's your intention? What is your connection to that purpose? And there, flourish it. And it's gonna change through time, but at least you always have that foundational stamp to go back to as you grow, as you evolve, and you connect with the right community and the right resources to make that brand grow. And don't give up. Don't give up.
Well, to wrap it up, what could you leave our audience with one prescription for living fully and confidently? What would that be?
So my prescription for living confidently and fully?
Yes.
Okay, is don't hold yourself back. Keep moving forward. Give yourself the grace and tenacity, and we're all worthy of great things.
Yes. Well, where can our audience find Ir Al Sol Swimwear?
So Ir Al Sol is a Shopify online store. You could follow or subscribe to iralsol.com. Please send me a message when you see this show, and I'll send you a special offer and a special gift. And you could also follow me on Instagram at Ir Al Sol Swimwear.
Awesome. Well, it was a pleasure having you.
Thank
I
you.
cannot wait for you to get bigger and bigger, and when you come
Thank you.
back, it's just going to be, I already know, we're going to be saying, everyone's wearing Ir Al Sol Swimwear.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for sharing your light and your heart and your story with us.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the time, and I'm honored to be here.
Rise up, sister, and let your voices ring. Together we stand, we are powerful things. No limits, no fear, we break the chain. With grace and faith, our stories change. Each step we take, we pave the way.